What's up, everybody? Little Big Robot's back with a video. As you can tell, this is a video. You're not watching a music right now. You're not watching a cardboard box. You're watching a video. Today, talking about another Sherman tank toy. This is made by IMEX, Oxford. I like how it says Brick for Mania, like Brick Mania. You know, when companies try to like, oh, it's made in Florida, okay. Companies seem to make like a hint at another company, you know, like they're hoping people get confused or something. I don't know. Brick Mania is one that makes a lot of these military vehicles, I guess. Anyway, this is the one I'm talking about today. This is the EZ8, the Fury model, I believe. This is the one from Cobi, I believe is a Polish company. This is the previous one I built. Both of them are cool. I'm going to say this is I'm leaning towards this one much more, but this one has some really neat and also kind of perplexing things here. First of all, the color difference you can see on this one, it's this dark green, which I do like, actually. I really like this kind of dark green. And funny enough, in the photos on the instructions here, it looks black. So it already hints towards maybe a little less quality in production over there. But at the same time, they have some really cool little details. So let's just kind of compare them for a minute. Here's some of the leftover parts, though. I thought this was really cool. You get some really neat, you know, guns and stuff like that. But in the book, they don't tell you what to do with them. So you're kind of stuck with some, you know, leftovers, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with these? Maybe use them in something else, I don't know. It has these two jerry cans. I believe these are fuel canisters. You built them. It has you build them, and then you're like, wait, what am I doing with these? So they're cool, don't get me wrong. See the two jerry cans there? But it doesn't show you where to put them. Of course, they would go probably here in the back, somewhere like that, you know, sitting at the back, I guess, or whatever. Or they're just kind of supposed to be sitting like somewhere. I don't think you'd put the jerry cans there, but I could be wrong. But so it's got like really, really cool details as far as it has these little tools and stuff. It has this nice little portion here that I always break off on the model. I've broken it off like 400 times. But then you've got issues with like the front machine gun is this little ball. And if you compare it to the front machine gun on this dusty one here, let's see if I can get that. It has a proper kind of barrel look. It's not as easy to move around, but it's got, you know, and it even has the thing to hold down the barrel for the transport. So this has, I think, less overall details, but more important details, like you can get into the cabinet, into the engine there. You can see the engine. You got the helmets hanging on there. So I thought, well, shoot, maybe I'll take some of these extra black weapons and mount them on here, because while this is a really cool one, it's definitely, I don't know, it's like it almost gets there. If it had been just a little bit better. Now, this is the first one I built that actually has, or it makes an attempt to have the, whatchamacallits, that hold on like the skirt here. You can see the skirt here, but none of the additional parts. And I'll show you real quick on an actual model that I built. This is a Tamiya. Oops. See, parts just fall off it. This is a Tamiya model, pretty dusty, but much more accurate to a real Sherman. And you can see these little, I forget what they're called. So it's at least attempting to put those on there. But at the same time, so it does details like this, but at the same time, it'll forget details like there's no, maybe I missed a step, but I don't have any extra parts for it, but there's no cover for the hatches there for the driver and the gunner there. So you see the hatches here, I can actually open those. They're just kind of hard because the barrel gets in the way. So none of them are 100% accurate, but you see how those have a little hatch cover? Oops. And you could probably even add a hatch cover that has the periscope on it. That doesn't even have it. So it's really kind of strange. Also, if you notice here, I've got not only the guns, but I have the two hatches, because the Shermans, I believe, were known for, you could actually get out of them relatively easy. That's why they weren't the death traps that people always say. And this just has one big one. And it kind of is a bit awkward too. So it's not even super accurate, but again, maybe there's a little viewing glass there. Maybe I'm mixing up oh, geez. See, just like that, bam, done. Lost all this stuff. But you know, maybe there's some details. Maybe this is more accurate. I'm still figuring out my favorite details of this type of tank. But one thing I noticed here, see how much easier that is. This is a solid part, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, well, it's got 2 or 3 parts. You can see there just a bit, but you see how much more solid it is, you know, and it just attaches right there, and then it's it's relatively easy to rotate or to lift up and down. While this one, as soon as you do it, it pops right off because it's literally a bunch of individual parts stuck on like a stick. You can might be able to see that in there. So there's just like they give you like a mount in there, like a rigid piece of plastic. But I do like the end of the barrel just fine. And it only attaches, if you see here, with a single, if you ever built Lego before, you know how these are meant for like, these little solo pieces here are meant for like a light or something like decorative, but it's not meant to hold up an entire barrel. So to rotate it up, you've got to pull this off, rotate this, and then stick it back on. So that's another area where the quality seems to be a bit less. But I do like the details there. They actually put grilling on the back there, just like you would see on the model, closer to that. You see, so I think the scale is way off between the model here. This is obviously a smaller scale, but comparing it to the other Sherman I have, it actually matches up pretty well. I don't know if they're going, I guess because it's Lego scale or, you know, like minifig scale, but you got no minifigs with this one, which is, again, surprising. Like, they add all these neat little details here, and the tracks are really nice. And you can see in the bottom, they even have the towing area and stuff. The tracks are done really well. They added these nice little parts, but then they don't add a latch or a hatch cover there. So I'm not really sure what to think about that. Overall, I'm going to say that I still prefer the Cobi ones. I actually still have the Jumbo to build, which will be slightly larger than this, or at least bulkier than this. The Jumbo, I have a feeling, will kind of have a, you know, from what I can tell, it feels a lot like this one. It just has more details. This company, I'll have to look up and see if they redid it. I want to say that oops, see what I'm saying? I want to say that the silhouette of this one might be a bit more accurate compared to this one. But could be wrong. It seems to be, God dang it. It needs to be a bit taller like that, I think, but I think that might be happening because of this gap here. It wouldn't be that gappy. So there's just little strange little things like that. They got you some stickers to stick on, which are fine. But it's like you're going, oh, this is really cool. It's got some nice details, and then you see really obvious shortcomings. So I really prefer this one. That's made, if you want to buy it and try it out, that's IMEX, Oxford. Support, World of Bricks, IMEX World of Bricks. And it looks like it's in Florida. So maybe it's an American company. That's nice. I like to support U.S. companies if I can on toys. It's just so hard nowadays to find any that make in the U.S. So if you want to go for that, try it. I liked it. I'm not as impressed as I am with the Cobi ones, but it's definitely going to sit on the shelf and look really cool. I thought this was a neat thing on the bottom too. They added these nice parts here that kind of help support it as you're building it. So as you press down, you're not putting so much pressure down and having it shatter on you like that can happen with these other ones. This one should just be basically blank on the bottom. So you see that little bit of a gap there. So, oh my God, so impossible just to film a stupid video. Anyway, everybody, have a good one. Nice, but stick with the Cobi. That's my final thought.